me turn this around for you so I can set this camera up. We'll let some people join. Just wanted to kind of give you guys a update. I know people were asking me how it turned out, how long it would take me to build, and all that stuff. So this was last video. I don't know if you guys watched my last live or not, but the last video I was working on, I was building for a customer this SCX 24. And what we did with this was he wanted this die-cast body mounted, which you can buy at like Target or Walmart or kind of any toy store. I don't remember the brand right off the top of my head, but I have one as well, the die-cast Jeep. So anyway, he bought an SCX 24 Gladiator, and he wanted me to mount this body on here, so we had to come up with a way to get the body mounted so he could drive the truck with this die-cast body on here. So we got that all wrapped up, and I guess kind of what I'm going to do with this is I want to give you guys a brief overview of how we did this, what parts we used, and so on, and then see if you guys have any questions on anything, because obviously people sometimes have questions on how I built something, what parts did I use, how did I put it together, what did I have to clearance, things of that nature. I'm just waiting for my phone to catch up here, to catch up with the chat, so give me a second. There we go. So there we go. I should have you guys on chat as well if you need anything. Okay, so what we did with this, I don't know where to put this one. Maybe I'll put it back here. So what we did with this truck when he brought it to me was the body wasn't mounted, and so we had to figure out a way to mount this die-cast body, which is, as you would assume, is really heavy. We need to do something with these shocks. These cheap shocks, these Enjoras aren't doing it. I don't think they're Enjoras. They are RC. These are Hobby Plus. So what we did was we took and I built, and I can't take, excuse me, I can't take this off because this is bolted on. So what we did was we took the original stock, and you can go back and watch the other live. I kind of explained this as well, but the stock front body posts, the shocks are held in by screws that go through the front body posts, and they mount a plate to it for the stock body, so it can hinge, and that stock body is mounted with, actually, being that this is die cast, I can open the hood. So the pad that goes normally in here and mounts to the stock hood with a piece of Velcro, I ended up cutting off the body posts so I could keep those down in the shock towers and use those screws to still mount the front shocks to the shock towers. And then I took that pad, you can kind of see it here, and put a piece of Velcro down, took another piece of plastic, drilled holes in the bumper mount itself, took that other piece of plastic, drilled holes in that, and then I screwed those two pieces together. So the flat piece of plastic I added to the bumper mount, and then I put a piece of Velcro on top of that. That was the opposite side of my, no, actually this is the bumper, or the original flat piece that mounted to the stock shock towers. So then we needed one for this, and with this die-cast body, it has these little posts here. I don't know if you can see it, but hold on. My light over here is pretty bad, sorry guys. So those aluminum posts there that come down were what mounted to the stock chassis, and I took another piece of just plain old thick plexiglass plastic, whatever it was. I cut that and formed it to fit inside the grill, so it tucks right inside the grill. It matches the curve of the grill, and it's out of the way of the tires. And then I put a piece of Velcro on top of that. Let's see if we can get that with a flashlight. Put a piece of Velcro on top of that. There we go. And now the body is mounted in the front with a piece of Velcro. So if you need to get this up, you can do that just a little bit. You're not going to want to do that a whole lot because there's no real purpose in that. But if you have to adjust something, check something, this would be that's a kind of a quick way to do it. And that way there, it limits you to only having one screw. You can see it right there. That goes through that silver washer on it. That goes through all it does is it goes through the old battery tray for the SCX 24, and going through that battery tray, that slot that was already there in the battery tray, I added a washer so it was a little wider, and then I drilled through this bed, and I put a little nut that I had to shave a flat spot on there. Sorry about the light strobing on you guys, but I put a nut in the bed, and it's just sitting in there, but it's got a flat spot on it. So now when I screw through, the washer will hold the battery tray that's mounted to the stock frame. And let's see if I can show you guys that. So yeah, the battery tray is mounted to, here, let's do this. This will work way better. The battery tray is in its stock configuration. I moved the rear shock towers out of there, so I got rid of those. And with getting rid of those, I still had the plastic to bolt the shocks into. So I bolted those into a battery tray mount, and then drilled a little hole here for my battery plug for the truck. And then I took and slotted the bed. I don't know if you could see that. Here we go. Slotted the bed. So now we have our stock battery strap in there. And boom, she's all set up and ready to rock and roll. The other thing we did was we added this reef servo, which to add the reef servo, because it's bigger than the stock servo tray, we had to put I think we used a Samick servo tray, and it's a brass servo tray too, so it gives you a little more weight down low. So we put the brass servo in there, wired everything into channel 2. Now this has one of the old stock receivers in it. Where did we mount that receiver? Oh, we mounted the receiver. No, I'm sorry. That's a total correction on my part. This has the FuryTech Avatar receiver in it. So this is all FuryTech and ready to be hooked up to the Avatar system. I don't know if you guys can see that. I apologize for my poor video. I do not want to take this body off. So there's the receiver. There's the ESC. So everything is sitting on the old battery tray, and it's mounted using the old battery tray for this body to work. And then we used a Power Hobby transmission with the overdrive to the front wheels. What up, nothing stock? So we used just because he wanted overdrive with this. And then we used the Revolver 2000 kV. I did have to trim the dash a little bit, because otherwise the Revolver motor hit the little plastic dash that's in here. So we just trimmed that a little bit so it clearanced. And yeah, so now we've got everything all mounted in here, all nice and pretty, very functional. I know, I'm sorry about this poor videoing quality for me, guys. I'm not a huge guy for the technical stuff. So anyway, so then we mounted our transmission to our stock skid plate. We zip tied our wires in there so everything's, run along the frame rails. It's nice and clean. And this truck should be, although it's still die cast, it should be a pretty decent performer. It's definitely aesthetically going to be a really good looking truck. So I mean, that's the lift you're getting out of this with the rear tires touching, let's see, and I'm still touching flat. So that's a lot of torque or twist you can get out of this guy now. So yeah, just to recap on this truck is done and ready to be picked up for him. He's out of I think he's out of the state right now on doing a business thing. And this truck is smooth as butter. I didn't end up hooking up the front bumper lights because I didn't build a connector, a jumper rather, because I didn't bother, and I'll see if he wants me to. And if you know what, I'm going to make a jumper for this just because I feel like that should be, we put all this work into it, we might as well put those lights in there. So yeah, we will build a jumper for these front bumper lights. But yeah, this truck is now finished and it articulates like a MFer. So the other truck that I was going to be working on for him was this truck, which I believe was a 100% spare parts build. So he bought this body at Five Below. The bodies cost $5. I think they come on them cars that you can pull back, you let go, and they take off, spring loaded or whatever they call it. So we bought this truck. He bought this body from Five Below, and literally the rest of this truck was all spare parts he had kicking around. So we shaved our axle and the inside of our brass so we could get more steering out of these stock axles. So that was kind of cool. He got that set up. We got that set up pretty easy and pretty clean. And then pretty much I mounted the parts that he had to this truck. And this is on, I want to say it's on a deadbolt chassis, but we're using the deadbolt hinge. So this is the one with the stock ESC, the black labeled ESC from Axial. So you can still use a stock radio with this truck. And this ESC, the brushless ESC, is mounted two-sided tape to the back of the stock ESC. I know I'm going to say ESC twice, and it sounds like I'm not talking about the same thing, but I am. So now your stock ESC receiver acts as just a receiver for your stock radio because it has channel 2. So you hook your ESC, your new ESC, into channel 2, and it acts like the stock, it still controls it via that channel. Your steering is still going to work. I believe your steering will still work under your old ESC radio combo because this is just acting as a receiver. So what you'll do is you'll just turn this on and leave it on because there's no point in turning it off. But you'll turn on and off your new ESC with its on and off button right there. So this is the same. This is a revolver. He magnet mounted it. He finished that. And again, that's that front post I was talking about with the platform that used to have the Velcro that went to the hood. Now he's got earth magnets on here. But we reef servoed it. So now it's got a really nice steering servo in there. And then we did the FuryTech motor mount on the stock transmission with another one of the FuryTech Komodo 2000 kV motors. We trimmed the old electronics tray that was in there. And I think that's pretty much it with this one. So yeah, these are both a couple of really fun builds. This one took me a lot less time than the other one. The other one took me like 3 or 4 hours to build, actually longer than that, to get that body mounted. I think it took a little longer than that. And this has still got its Bluetooth module. So that's what that little guy is right there. So now you can still change all the settings in this truck. But yeah, so the other truck, the red Gladiator, took me like 3 hours, 3 to 5 hours. I can't remember exactly. I think it was 5 hours. And we got that all built. This one approximately took me like 2.5 hours, somewhere in that realm. And it went together really good. So yeah, just let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Also, again, like anything else, please share my videos if you wouldn't mind. Like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Don't cost you anything. And let me know if you guys would like to see more content on the SCX 24s. I'm always enjoying when I get the opportunity to build these little guys because they're such cool trucks. And this one actually has really good suspension, being as light as it is. And the tires clear the body so it doesn't rub. But yeah, let me know if you guys like this content and you want to see more of it. And if you do, then I will try and create more stuff along these same lines. Or if you would like to see 10 scale stuff, or what you would like to see, just let me know in the comments below. Other than that, I hope everyone has a great afternoon. I've got some coffee brewing and some other stuff I've got to go work on now. And I'm also going to start another, I think, an airsoft channel for airsoft, or I'm sorry, another YouTube channel for airsoft. Jeez Louise. All right, guys, I hope everyone's having a great afternoon again. Stay warm out there. See ya.